I'd been dating Sophia for 4 years when I finally decided to ask the big question. Her parents treated me like their own son, especially after they found out I grew up in foster care. Her little brother would literally follow me around their house begging me to teach him how to fix engines. For someone who never had a real family, being part of theirs felt like everything I'd been missing my whole life. I'd been saving every extra dollar from my job at Murphy's Auto Shop for months. The ring wasn't fancy, just a simple band with a small diamond, but it was real, and it was all I could afford. I planned everything perfectly. Sophia's dad was turning 60, and they were throwing this big backyard BBQ. All her family would be there, plus her closest friends. She always said family was the most important thing to her, so I figured proposing surrounded by everyone who loved us both would be perfect. The party was going great. Sophia's mom made her famous brisket, her dad was telling embarrassing stories about Sophia as a kid, and everyone was laughing and having a good time. After they brought out the birthday cake and sang happy birthday, I figured it was the perfect moment. My hands were shaking as I tapped my beer bottle with a fork to get everyone's attention. The whole backyard went dead silent. Sophia looked confused at first, then her eyes went wide when I got down on one knee and pulled out the ring box. Her mom gasped and started tearing up. Her dad had this huge smile on his face. Her friends were already pulling out their phones to record the moment. I opened the box and said all the things I'd been practicing in my head for weeks. How much I loved her, how she'd changed my life, how I wanted to spend forever making her happy. The words just poured out of me, but Sophia just stood there frozen. Not good frozen, like she was overwhelmed with happiness. Bad frozen, like she'd seen a ghost. "Liam," she finally said, and I could hear the panic in her voice. "I love you so much, but I'm not ready for this. I'm so sorry." The silence that followed was the worst sound I'd ever heard. 30 people just staring at us, not knowing what to do or where to look. I stayed on one knee for probably 5 seconds too long, trying to process what had just happened. Then I slowly stood up, shoved the ring box back in my pocket, and nodded. "Okay," I said, because what else could I say? Sophia reached for my arm, but I stepped back. I couldn't deal with her trying to comfort me in front of everyone. I mumbled something about needing to go and walked straight to my truck. The drive home was the longest 20 minutes of my life. I stayed up all night staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation we'd ever had about the future. We'd talked about getting married, about kids, about buying a house together. How had I read everything so wrong? The next day, I was under the hood of a broken-down Chevy, trying to lose myself in work, when I heard footsteps approaching. I looked up expecting to see my boss, but it was Sophia's dad, still wearing the same polo shirt from his birthday party. I braced myself for him to tell me to stay away from his daughter, or that I'd embarrassed his family, or that I should have asked his permission first. Instead, he said, "You handled that with more class than I think I could have managed. You didn't make a scene, didn't get angry, didn't try to argue with her. That took real character." I didn't know what to say to that, so I just kept working on the engine. Then he pulled out a business card and handed it to me. I don't know if Sophia mentioned it, but I'm part owner of a trucking company. We're expanding our operation to Houston, and we need someone who can fix our rigs and handle logistics. Someone who keeps their cool under pressure. I stared at the card. "Why are you offering me this?" "Because you're a good man, Liam, and good men deserve good opportunities, whether my daughter realizes it or not." I took the job. Within 2 weeks, I'd moved to Houston and started working for their company. It was bigger money than I'd ever made, plus they paid for me to get certified on heavy machinery. The work was harder, but way more interesting than changing oil and rotating tires. My boss there, Randy, took me under his wing and taught me the business side of things. After 6 months, I was training new hires. After a year, I had my own apartment in a nice part of town, and more money in my savings account than I'd ever dreamed of. I hadn't talked to Sophia since that night.